women are dirty.
Most guys be basic, bro. Girls will talk about, oh, I wanna get clapped on the balcony, hanging off 1 foot, holding on by this. They wanna get choked. They wanna get tied up. They don't wanna see. Bro, girls' fantasies be on some whole other shit.
Where you at,
Women
Berto?
are dirty. Understanding their dark desires.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is women are dirty. Now, I don't mean that they're physically dirty. I mean that women's minds are full of dirty, dark, and twisted desires. To be fair, men's minds are the same way, but men already have a reputation for this. Girls, on the other hand, are presumed to be made of sugar and spice and everything nice. And I'm here to tell you that is
Not true. It is all cap. The thing is, girls have a reputation to uphold. Now, in 2026, it has been getting shaky though. We have seen that some of these girls are starting to move around and act like they niggas. But, you know, for our beautiful queens out there that still like to move with class, the reality is girls get horny too, bruh. Girls want to clap too, bruh. And that's why shooting your shot is not, that's like, you need to just shoot your shot, gang. You literally just need to shoot your shot. You be overthinking so much stuff in your head. Now, don't be a fucking weirdo. You don't go up to a stranger and be like, oh, can I clap your cheeks? Some of y'all be doing weird shit. She's a lady at the end of the day. You need to respect her, you know what I'm saying? Get to know her, warm her up, make her feel comfortable, and, you know, see where things go. But chances are, bro, I promise you, the way you be looking at girls and walking around like, God damn, she look good, man. Boy, oh, you don't think she's doing that to you, nigga? You don't think girls aren't walking around thinking the same fucking thing? Boy, you must have lost your mind.
far from the truth. So we can consider this an extension of an episode I made a while back called Every Woman is Two Women, in which I attempted to explain that every woman carries at least two personalities inside of her. One is the public-facing persona that she uses when she goes to work and rides the bus and engages with her friends and family. And the other is the bedroom persona that comes to life behind closed doors. And it's very difficult to make accurate predictions about the bedroom persona simply by viewing the public-facing persona. That said, we can make some reasonable generalizations derived from psychological truths and observed behavior at like the population level. When we look at these sources, we see that women's desires are much more socially unacceptable than they are typically considered to be, and that these socially unacceptable desires tend to cluster around fairly predictable themes. First and foremost, let's examine what we might consider the prototypical feminine romantic fantasy, namely Beauty and the Beast. Beautiful Belle explores her Stockholm Syndrome kink and falls in love with her monstrous, aggressive captor, despite his grotesque appearance. The conventional interpretation of this story is that the purity and patience of Belle's love transformed the inhuman beast into a handsome gentleman who she was somehow able to perceive beneath the surface. It's what's on the inside that counts, right? But this interpretation lacks parsimony. It's actually more straightforward to posit that Belle fell for Beast because he's beastly, it's in his name, not despite the fact he was beastly. Let's consider. We often speak of nefarious men who see women purely as objects of sexual conquest, men who are solely interested in adding another notch in their belts, as it were. However, this is not an exclusively gendered practice. Women also see men as objects of conquest, albeit potentially a conquest of a more emotional or psychological variety. Women can and do desire to conquer men, and the paramount conquest of a woman is domesticating the bad, dangerous, unbreakable man into her pet. I'll say that again. The paramount conquest of a woman is domesticating the bad, dangerous, unbreakable man into her pet. This is the challenge that women pine for. They're like horse whisperers on the lookout for the Mustang no one else can tame. This is the female equivalent of the challenge depicted in, say, Dangerous Liaison, in which Valmont seeks to seduce the chaste and engaged Cecile. The fact that one conquest is more or less sexual and the other is more or less emotional is kind of beside the point. In fact, because it's emotional, such a conquest is much more likely to be complete and enduring relative to a sexual one.
Wait, hold on. I know you guys usually skip this part of the video, but give me 1 second. I want to put you guys on real quick on a way to make some extra money that is 100% legit, and you could do it all from your phone. TesterUp is a platform that works with games to find new users just like you to test their games out. These apps and games are willing to pay new users to get on their platform because 9 times out of 10, they genuinely actually like playing the game. And the app in return ends up making money because you're playing the game that they paid you to play. I know that sounds a little bit too good to be true, but this is why I'm breaking it down for you so you understand the business behind it and how it works. TesterUp helps put money back in your pocket that these platforms are willing to pay for new users. So if you already like playing games on your phone, click the link in the description or use the QR code on the screen. You're gonna make a free account. It's completely free to do, and you can start making $10 to $20 off of games that you already love playing. This isn't a get rich quick scheme, so it's full transparency here, but if you're dedicated enough and you like playing games on your phone, there's people already making hundreds of dollars as well. Again, it's completely free to try. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description. Check it out and make some extra cash.
And if we understand Beast's monstrosity to be a feature, not a flaw, with respect to Belle's attraction, a lot of otherwise mystifying female behavior starts to make sense. Belle is into bestiality. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. She could pick any man in a 50-mile radius, and she chose an animal. And
that makes sense, though. I mean, again, bro, I think the bigger like underlying tone here is also, well, maybe not for every single woman, but it's kind of like the overall saying, girls don't like nice guys. You know what I'm saying? This is how like the stereotype of nice guys finish last, girls like the bad boy, girls like, you know, the edgy guys. Again, bro, I feel like all women to a degree like somebody that's exciting, you know. Then that comes in different shapes and forms. Like me personally, I'm more of a chill type of guy. I'm not the type of nigga that's fucking going out every weekend, super crazy lifestyle, you know, popping out everywhere. But there's different experiences that you can provide for a woman, and a lot of it is mental. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is like, how do you stimulate a woman's mind? So I think the parallel here, when we're talking of, when he's making the example of like, Bella could have been with any guy. Bella could have been with, you know, there's 50 guys around, but instead she chose an animal. Because she chose the animal because that is the nigga that stimulates her mind. Because regardless of what a girl says, a girl will always say, oh, I like nice guys. I like guys that are super this and super that. And maybe there's some truth in that because they don't want a guy that's disrespecting them. Nobody wants to be with a fucking asshole. But they also are always going to ultimately end up with a nigga that stimulates their brain.
This, of course, is why the story has to end when it does, with the transformation of Beast into a gentleman. After all, if she fell in love with a monster, how long do you think she'd be interested in a gentleman? She could have had one of those from the get-go and spared herself all the trouble.
Berto sounds like he doesn't like water. What does that even mean? Explain that one to me, bro. I didn't even understand that.
Belle has succeeded in her conquest, but in so doing, she has undermined the basis of her own attraction. So I don't have high hopes for the longevity of that relationship. We undermine the bases of our own attraction to our own detriment. Just like Don Juans lose interest in a woman after they possess her physically, the Belles of the world lose interest in a man after they possess him emotionally. They want to tame the bad boy, but when they succeed in doing so, they are no longer interested in him. And they typically have no compunction about moving on to more exciting opportunities. Introducing my
Okay, that nigga promote
mad
shit.
links are in the description.
Shit.
Now, we have to remember that this heartwarming tale of conquest and bestiality is the all ages version of the story. When we approach content that is created exclusively for adults, we see these themes even more clearly.
All right, DJ,
Romance novels constitute the majority of best-selling fiction today, with over 60% of Kindle bestsellers coming from that genre, a figure that is largely driven by the popularity of romantasy books in which romance and fantasy elements are blended together. And who are the male protagonists in these works of fiction? You already know the answer. You guessed it. Monsters. The most mainstream examples here typically involve run-of-the-mill monsters, creatures like vampires and werewolves, whereas the choice of species grows increasingly outré as you make your way off the beaten path. For instance, a very popular example these days is Morning Glory Milking Farm, in which a young millennial woman gives hand jobs to minotaurs in order to pay off her student loans, eventually falling in love with one of her bullheaded clients. Trust me, women's hear me outs are far more deviant than men's. But our society...
Because honestly, girls are a lot more complex than niggas, bro. Like, most guys be basic, bro. Most niggas be simple. Hey, I like a pretty face. You know, some guys like, you know, fun bags. Some guys like big butts. You know, some guys like a combination of both. But that be it. That be like the peak of a nigga fantasy. Most niggas. You know, obviously we got some Diddy ass niggas out there who, you know, they need the baby oil and they want to watch their girl get hit by another nigga. If that's you, bro, weirdo. You know, speak for yourself, gang. But I would say that's like the peak of most niggas' fantasies. Girls though, bro, how many of y'all have actually had a conversation with like girls? Girls will talk about, oh, I want to get clapped on the balcony, hanging off 1 foot, holding on by the shit. They want to get choked. They want to get tied up. They don't want to see shit. They want, like, bro, girls' fantasies be on some whole other shit, bro. Y'all not ready to have that conversation though. Oh, that some of y'all are not there yet in life. Oh, my bad. I forgot that y'all didn't know that I'm
29 years old.
Grown man, by the way. Let's go.
More or less completely disavows that these desires exist. Speak to them directly, and you're much more likely to get slapped or hit with an HR complaint than to find a willing and eager participant, which is probably why women are increasingly retreating into a private world to satisfy them. And this doesn't stop with text-based fantasies that they read for the story. For instance, women's use of pornography has absolutely skyrocketed in recent years. Whereas pornography functionally used to be an exclusively male space, women now constitute around 40% of all consumers of that content. It's basically half and half. And we know from their revealed preferences that the types of pornography that men and women tend to consume exhibit marked distinctions. For example, pornography that depicts violence against women is far more likely to be consumed by women than by men. Hitting, slapping, humiliation, even simulated rape. These are some of the dark fantasies associated with the kind of deep submission.
He's making a point, but let's not take that to heart. YouTube. Again, just gotta, you know, YouTube doesn't like to fuck with me. This is public on YouTube. Analytical purposes only. Is come on, man. 400-something thousand views. Been on YouTube for 3 months. no problems here, no problems here, so no problems for me. Analytical purposes only. We're learning, like in class, sitting down, student listening to a teacher.
Submissiveness for which women cannot find a socially acceptable outlet in today's day and age, especially in a culture in which describing women as anything other than powerful and dominant is functionally viewed as misogynistic. These desires have not been extinguished. That's not how desires work. They have simply been pushed below the surface into a psychic space where even many of the women themselves do not understand them.
Yeah.
In any case, all of this can be understood as a kind of antithesis to the looks-maxing trend in many male circles today. You don't have to go to Korea and get a facial to get laid, my dude. Being pretty and attractive can help you get girls, yes, but paradoxically, so can being ugly and repulsive. Like being rough, rugged, burly, beastly, monstrous, even to the point of being repulsive, seems to exert a strange power over women.
I mean, I've been saying this, bro. I've been saying this. Again, I'm always going to thrive and, vote for you guys to be the most attractive version of yourselves. But at the end of the day, be yourself, gang. You will be surprised how many girls are into heavier niggas, hairier niggas. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself, bruh. That is the most attractive thing you can do to a woman, I promise you, because they can smell that insecure shit from a mile away.
This could potentially be an artifact of sexual dimorphism. If prettiness signals femininity, then what is diametrically opposite to that, in this case, ugliness, would signal masculinity. As a man, you actually don't have to be good looking to get women, though of course it helps. And
most niggas, mind you, I'm saying this as like, obviously I believe in myself and I don't, as far as I'm concerned in my adult life, I don't have any problem getting women. But like, I'm gonna be real, I don't think I am conventionally the most attractive guy. I don't have like the almond eyes, I don't have the perfect jawline. Like my face card isn't that fit. Like, those guys that you see on TikTok, those like cringy TikTok niggas that be like taking selfies and shit. I know I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I thrive and strive in ways that I feel unique to me. Whereas, whether it's my personality, my looks, whatever, like the way I dress, the way I carry myself, my confidence, So again, it's really just about working towards your strengths and being the most authentic version of yourself, right? Because again, not everybody's going to be born with the perfect eyes and the perfect symmetrical jawline and all that shit that you can't control. Versus, I feel like the uniqueness of how you are as a nigga, girls be attracted to that too. So you over here trying to work against what is making you unique, it's like you're honestly shooting yourself in the foot.
End this episode by putting a thought into the minds of every man out there. My guys, every time you get nervous about approaching...
What does that mean to be unique, though? I mean, bro, in a world where guys are literally hammering their face, it's like, I joke about it all the time. So motherfuckers be saying, I look like Sid from Ice Age. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, my eyes are further apart on my head. My teeth are kind of crooked. Like, obviously, these are things that I can't control. I mean, maybe I could have got braces, but somebody would also argue that's what makes me unique. Like, somebody might think that some people are probably gonna like the way that my teeth are, like I've told y'all plenty of times that that's one of my insecurities. Like I want to go get my teeth done whenever I get some money, but it's just like, I've also had people like, oh, I love your smile, it's cute. So it's just like, again, bro, that your uniqueness are the things that are just it's just you. You know what I mean? Like the way your nose is shaped, the way your ears are shaped, the way you do your hair, like your uniqueness is just you. You know what I'm saying? And working into what makes you you, rather than trying to change shit or hide it or fucking, you know. And I think women do this a lot, like little cute things that, you know, us as guys, we find attractive in them. They were so quick to try to go change that shit or alter it and, you know, get surgery and stuff. It was just like, bro, like, no, like those are the shit that we was attracted to in the first place.
A woman, every time you think that she is out of your league, just remember, she has fucked an uglier man than you. So buck up. What do you think? Does this
W video, man? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. You know, every once in a while, I'm going to bring y'all one of these like more deeper conversations type of video, because I feel like, again, it's cool to look at memes and drama all day, but sometimes you need to just sit down and learn some new shit and hear from somebody using big words, and then have a less smart individual like me break it down in a way that y'all can understand, because I understand everything he said, you know what I'm saying? But I can't articulate it the way he said it. I'm gonna articulate it with the way I be saying it. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Look at me trying to cope. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. My name is Berto. Where you at, Berto? Join the Where You At family so you never miss a live stream reaction. I'll see you on the next one. I'm gone. Look at the description. Come on. Join the Twitch streams. I'm waiting. You clicked it yet?
Where you at, Berto? I made this shit look too easy.